This week's Nifty Gifties on F5 Live is proudly powered by the Microsoft Store. Whether you're looking for a new laptop, a tablet, desperately seeking a new Xbox, games, and a whole lot more, you can get them at the Microsoft Store. And remember that current students, faculty, parents, and active military can save up to 10% on almost everything. To browse the products, to see deals that are going on, and to learn more about the discounts, you can go to f5live.tv/Microsoft. All right, so it's been almost a year since the topic of app tracking transparency started. We know that earlier in the year, Apple started to make a big deal about the feature, as Facebook started to make a big deal about the feature, but in opposite directions. You might remember the ad that Apple ran. There was a guy who was using his phone. Every time he did something, somebody else started sitting around him and watching what he was doing until it came up with a little dialog box that said, "Ask not to track." He hit it, and all the people disappeared. That's the app tracking transparency feature. Basically, you get to tell apps that you do not want them to have access to identifiable and behavioral data. Some of that can include browser history and even the other apps that you use and switch between. But what we are finding out now is that it doesn't work exactly the way Apple said it did. In fact, they have given the people that Tim Cook once called hucksters access to that data, even if you tell them no. In particular, Facebook and Snap, the two companies that you would imagine were the ones that Apple was trying to hold back at bay. No. They still have access to that information, even if you say ask not to track. But they've been asked, pretty please, don't make it identifiable. Now, Facebook is not Meta, I guess, is not a company that is known for keeping their promises on privacy. I think we all remember the leak of the phone number database from them not too long ago. And of course, we can't forget about Cambridge Analytica, which was kind of the beginning of the public's big concerns with what Facebook was up to. Apple is just trusting that given the access, even when they're not supposed to have it, that they will anonymize it. So, I think we can trust that, right, Abram?
Yeah, of course. I mean, look, the thing is, at this point, I don't know. I feel like privacy is already so violated every time you use certain apps and do certain things that and even do things that you didn't realize that were violating your privacy. I feel like maybe we're living in a post-privacy world. Like, I don't know. I can't get too excited about people saying, "Oh, this is good for your privacy," and others saying, "Oh, don't trust this company. They're bad for your privacy." Like, I feel like I don't have a lot of privacy. So when it comes to online stuff. So like all this stuff about, well, we're going to fix it so this company can't track you and that company can't track you, but still whoever's holding the reins to that can track you, has their own way to track you, like Google trying to do away with cookies and things like that. But meanwhile, Google has all this information on you. So look, all this, we don't want a company to track us, is really a nice way of saying we're going to decide who gets to track you, who gets access to the best personally identifiable data from you and who doesn't. And then in a way, that's picking winners and losers in a business, because having that information has value. So
it's similar.
I don't know.
Similar to the argument over the current patent law, right? It's the government picking winners and losers, and in this case, this is Apple picking winners and losers.
Right. So, yeah, you know what? I'm not so sure. I mean, I get it. The public, like, if you hear Apple's going to protect my privacy, or Google's going to protect my privacy, or this thing's going to protect my, privacy using a particular special browser or something's going to protect my privacy. I get it why you would say, "Hey, that sounds pretty good,"
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not really sure what is really being protected. Are you protecting me from ads that show stuff that I was interested in? Oh well, it
Sure.
it 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 doesn't, like, I don't care. Now,
I
mind
can tell
you,
you, I can tell you at this point, my ads are never what I'm looking for this time of year because gift guides and
yeah,
CES
exactly.
pitches and
I
stuff.
mean,
My ads are
right.
bonkers already.
Right. I mean, it depends, but yes, I have gotten ads for a lot of things. Now, I mean, I guess if you're browsing something that I don't know, would be embarrassed if somebody saw the ad over your shoulder that you were looking at and thought you were interested in such thing. But who knows? Ads are weird. So, like,
That's true.
it's hard for me to imagine how this affects privacy in any way that's really tangible to me. Now, like, I'm concerned about security. I'm concerned about
Sure.
people getting information they could use to impersonate me, for to do identity theft.
Sure.
But
Like the
it's
conversation
hard.
we had about dating apps and
Yeah, yeah, like
social phishing and stuff
that
like that.
that should be a concern. But whether a company can send me, like, I don't know, I'm staring right now at the upstream page, and there's an ad for Walmart that has a whole bunch of stuff that I was looking at for shopping over the last few weeks, and most of it not at Walmart either. um or maybe I was at
Interesting.
Walmart at one point. Anyway,
Hopefully at
it doesn't.
Walmart's
Okay.
website and not that you're getting ads
Yes.
based on where you physically were in a Walmart store.
Oh, I haven't been in a Walmart in a long time, so no, it's not. So, like, okay, whatever. It's not bad. I mean, it kind of reminds me that I have to get that at some point I have to buy this board game. Um, so, like, you know what? It doesn't. I don't know. I'm not too concerned about my privacy from things like targeted ads, which is what most of this has to do with.
True.
I'm concerned about information that has can be financially damaging to me.
Yeah.
I'm concerned, but all of these things that these apps are tracking you with are not financially damaging to you. So, really, what they are is possibly financially beneficial to an advertiser.
Right.
And that's commerce. Let them advertise to me. If they advertise to me something I'm not interested in, that's their problem. If they advertise to me
True.
something I am interested in, uh,
Great.
that's okay. I mean, maybe I won't click it, but I guess I'd rather see pictures of stuff I was interested in the ads on a page than stuff that I'm not. So,
Fair enough.
for a while, I don't think I'm not getting any more, but for a while I used to get all these ads. Like, I'm a big fan of Adafruit, which is a site that sells a lot of electronics or whatever. And I remember for a while there was like a phone game. A bubble popping game I was playing on my phone a lot, and I would get all these ads on it for, like, buying a Raspberry Pi at Adafruit, and I'd be like, well, I've already done that, but, like, I'd rather see them than see some of the other junk that this could pop up.
True.
So
Yeah.
if you got to show me an ad,
Especially
show
on
me a
mobile.
pleasant one,
Especially on
right?
mobile. Because a lot of the mobile like ad platforms, they show some weird stuff. I get strange ads on mobile
Right.
for stuff that's like, how did we get here?
Right, exactly. So, I don't know. I guess my overall point is, I think people are too worried about privacy. are worried about privacy, but they don't really know what it is.
Yeah,
They don't know what
I
it
can see that.
means when companies like Apple say we're going to protect your privacy.
Sure.
You know, you know what folks should do? They should start by protecting their own privacy by not posting stuff, by not oversharing online.
True.
I mean, I will not get into this or name names, but I had a acquaintance, not someone who's like a good friend or anything, acquaintance, someone who I knew professionally, this week on social media, share some really, really, really private, juicy details about their personal life, their marriage, other kind of stuff, their run-ins with the law and stuff like that on. And it's
Huh.
not the first time I've seen somebody do that. And I wanted to say to the person, like, but we're not really a friend, so I'm not going to comment for them.
Right. Right.
Like, if I were you, I really wouldn't share this to like this. So,
Right.
and, anyway, point point being, I think people are their own worst enemies when it comes to when it comes to privacy because
True
of the things that
story.
they publish to either publicly or to a wider group of friends than they should, or to anybody online. So, I think
True
I think
story.
people should worry more about what they're putting out there than what advertisements they're getting.
Yeah, I agree with that. There's a lot to that. Now I'm gonna have to poke a little bit. What board game? I know it's what everybody
Oh,
wants to know.
okay. So actually, this would be more of a card game than a board game if you really want to be
Okay.
technical. But I was visiting a good friend of mine this weekend, and we were playing this game called Throw Burrito, uh, which is which is a really fun game. I learned. Uh, so it is a game where it's like a dodgeball style card game. What you do is you have the object of the game is to collect um, is to score the most points by having the most like sets of three cards. But while you're playing, you can you can collect, like, you can start a burrito duel, and like the other players, you make the other players throw these rubber burritos at each other, and whoever gets hit with a rubber burrito gets a burrito bruise, which costs them a point. So you play until all six burrito bruises have been given out, and then see who has the most points. Um, the game is actually pretty hilarious, and it's the only card game I have ever played where there are no turns. It's just continuous. People are just like dealing cards and going around simultaneously.
Okay.
Play only stops when there's a burrito duel. So,
Oh,
uh,
if you're watching live, I've put the link in the chat to Amazon. Amazon's got it on sale right now.
yes. So we have lately discovered some fun like card games. So through a good friend of mine introduced my wife and I to some really, and my family and I to some really fun card games. There's that. We got one called Exploding Kittens, which is like more like a game we have to make sure that you don't get the kitten bomb card, and then
Yeah. It's made by the
Unstable
same people.
Unicorns. Yes. And then there's another one that's made by a different company that we've gotten called Unstable Unicorns, where
Uh-huh.
kind of a similar ilk. So anyway, um, cute, fun, no computers involved,
Sure.
an
Sure.
actual offline game that you can play with other human beings. Amazing.
Alante said in the chat, very familiar with exploding kittens and unstable unicorns, which definitely suggests that Throw Burrito is a new one to him. We might have to put our hands on this one too, especially with it being on sale. I am curious what the difference is between the original and the outdoor edition. I'm going to
Oh,
research
the
that.
outdoor one. The outdoor one, they're
Oh,
this big.
oh my God. Okay.
They're like they're no bigger than life size. They're human size. Uh, so, and the cards
So
are
it's
bigger too.
So it's like throwing a dog. Got it.
It's like throwing a giant beach ball at someone, basically. And if you catch the
Wonderful.
burrito, the other person gets the bruise. So,
Okay, I can't wait to investigate this more because this is ridiculous. I absolutely love it. But anyway, I guess the takeaway is that uh, it kind of is what it is. We know what the internet is these days, and right now it doesn't seem to be harming anybody what advertisers are looking at. So maybe we don't need to be too worried about this right now. Hello, YouTube. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this episode of F5 Live Refreshing Technology. If you did, please subscribe to the channel down below, and of course hit the notification bell because we know that subscriptions don't mean much on YouTube anymore. If you've got topics that you'd like us to talk about in the future, please comment them down below. And if you'd like to not follow us on YouTube, there's lots of ways that you can follow along with our content by going to plughitslive.com/subscribe. There you'll see all of our shows and all of the ways that you can watch, listen, and follow along.